No, no, zero, zero. You are now, everybody's worried. Of course, I am extremely that you are now becoming part of the club. You are supposed to put people in the microscope and tell us what you see. And we trust 100% that there is no filters between those eyes, you know? But now you are the one under the microscope. You don't take these points, these trust points. You don't drag them with you. You're a suit now, bro. Hello, gringos y gringas, beaners and beanerettes. Thank you for hanging out again and joining me on my third episode of El Racist Latino. And we are now, of course, if you've been following the last two episodes, it's obvious we are gonna talk about part 3 of the interview with Kash Patel and Dan Bongino on Fox News and by Maria Bartiromo. Oh man, I cannot remember that name. So anyway, let's move on here and let's get going.
It happened on January 6th.
So there is, as it seems that
This laugh was not like Bongino's laugh. This laugh makes me feel like, damn, there is so much to explain. This is the kind of laugh that I kind of got from him this time. On the previous episode, it was Bongino's laugh, which I said immediately it felt kind of arrogant and, like looking down and, hey, you would never understand, kind of. But in this case, it feels different, right? It feels like, fuck, man, if I, like, let's sit down for 5 hours, in this case. It felt legit.
I find myself in a similar situation as Russiagate. Because on January 6th, in the prior Trump administration, I was the chief of staff to the Department of Defense. And I spent 4 years in a minor fortune litigating the truth because people politicized what actually happened on January 6th. And we now know unequivocally that President Trump lawfully authorized the deployment of National Guard, and me, as the head of the Office of Secretary of Defense, with the Secretary of Defense, took that action. When it finally came in, because it had to have the governor and mayor of D.C.'s approval on it. That's the way the law works. And once it finally came in on January 6th, remember, we offered to them days beforehand, and they rejected it. We've put out the letters, and your show has done great coverage showing how it was rejected. We mobilized the fastest cold start in Washington, D.C. since World War II, and the largest occupation of D.C. by the National Guard since the American Revolution. That's what happened on January 6th, but what you and your viewers want to know, now that we've beat back that disinformation campaign with actual truth, is what was the FBI doing? Well, we got answers coming. We just found a trove of information, and it's on its way to Capitol Hill right now. And they've asked, and they're getting them, and you're getting answers on January 6th. You're getting answers on what sourcing was utilized, what money was utilized, how many assets were utilized, who made those decisions. You're getting it. We can only control the FBI, but you're getting it from the FBI.
Were there FBI agents undercover egging people on?
Like I said, that answer is coming, and it's on its way to Congress.
You're about to, I saw it. I saw the portfolio of information. We dug far and wide to find it, and I'm pretty sure now we have a conclusive, definitive answer, but you and the public are going to have it. You're going to see it in writing over to Capitol Hill. But I just want to be sure we're clear, having been an agent and a police officer. There is a difference between an agent, I know you know this, I don't mean to sound ridiculous, an agent, meaning a trained GS 1811 federal agent, and a source or an asset. There's a difference. So when you see the material, which I promise you is coming, again, I'm not asking you to trust us. I know it's coming because I saw it yesterday. When you see it, I just want you to understand that it's not an apology for anything.
Thank you.
But there's a difference between agents and assets.
Yeah.
And I just hope when people put that information out there, they make the distinction. Not that it's better or worse, but there's a distinction there.
Then why are you making the distinction? Oh man. Yeah. It's this is just delay. And of course, January 6th, I think almost by now, unless you are like mega woke, I think everybody kind of understands that it was a setup basically. Excuse me. It was police letting everybody in and then showing and taking selfies and stuff. And I understand that there's. I don't want to get into this because this is not the point of this. But I understand that there was two parts. In one side, it was kind of peaceful. The other side, they were breaking windows. Like I don't want to get into details because then this is not what it is about. So yeah, that's fine. But what about the pipe bomb? Dan, it's your story, man. The fucking pipe bomb. I remember this was one of the less interesting stories for me, like during the whole thing. And man, it actually broke my balls that I listened to you every day, and then you were only talking about the pipe bomb, and you were yourself uncovering all of these facts. And every fucking day, the pipe bomb or the pipe bomb. You're not saying anything now about the pipe bomb? Now I care. Now I want to know because you're hiding something, because you should have mentioned it. And it's just the fucking recipe, man. It's the fucking recipe. Is this nice lady uh just you know, hey, director of the FBI, you know this subject that has been controversial and that the FBI, the CIA, and the government have been lying about for a very long time, or, you know, unnecessarily delaying? Are there any kind of news, or is there something going on regarding that? Well, you know, regarding this subject that everybody has been lying for a long time, we have way more lies to tell you, and we have way more delays, and you will never know. But we are gonna keep it like this, so there is no revolt, right, Dan? Yes, yes, of course. I mean, you can trust me. It's been years since I've been telling you the truth, so I am hoping that I get those trust points over to this side, and that's why I'm here actually. There's no other reason for me to be in this interview, just so all of the bullshit that he says gets supported by me and I get more trust, and everything will believe me. Yeah? And if you don't want to believe me, then you can go fuck yourself. Next question. Dude. Like, this is just embarrassing and heartbreaking. Let's keep going.
It's a very important distinction.
And I want to level set here. I want the American public to go back and look at what our predecessors stated to Congress under oath, that there were no FBI sources utilized in and around January 6th. I'm going to leave it at that, but go play the videotape and look for this material coming to Congress.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right.
He laughs again. This is obviously, here begins the mega clip that has been going viral the most. And I actually haven't noticed this laugh before in the background. And he's like, that laugh sounded arrogant. You know, that's not a laugh like, oh my God, like, this is serious, we are deep. This is a dismissive laugh. And when you begin like this, it's already like, oh shit, why are you gonna bullshit me now? That okay, let's. We have seen this, but let's go over it again.
To their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
Does it look like a suicide, Cash? Does it? Then please, fucking enlighten us. How does a suicide look like? Are you fucking the mentalist, or I don't know which fucking like professional murder, homicide detective that you just walk in a scene and go, oh, suicide, done, let's fucking choo-choo, write it off, fuck off? But why? You're gonna sit in court and go like, wait, why? Well, it just looks like I know what a suicide looks like. After being in this business for whatever amount of years, that looks like a suicide. But why? Do you have examples, or what is specific about a suicide that gives you this impression? What are you talking about? No, well, next question, please. No, I don't. I just feel it. I just feel it. You know, it's something is there's nothing specific. It doesn't matter if there's like somebody who shot in the head himself twice. It's that all of those things are not important because, you know, it just looks like a suicide. Yeah, Rude. Right.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
I know it's hard work, but you promoted Steven Jensen.
No. I just noticed something that I haven't noticed until now. Oh man. Well, first of all, I mean, come on. Come on. And sadly, I don't have any resources. It's only me, but I did some research on Dan Bongino's Rumble page going 4 years back, and I did some, you know, of course, over the surface research because I have it in my mind, and I might be wrong because I watch so many. There's so much input, you know. Long time ago, you forget, but I have the feeling and the memory that Dan was talking about the forensic evidence from the autopsy that Epstein had broken bones behind the neck that only happen when you choke someone and not when they hang themselves. And if I remember correctly, I think he was talking about that, but I don't have the video to support, so I don't. Might have been someone else. I don't know. But yeah, I couldn't find any kind of videos linking like Bongino talking about Epstein's death when he was a news host, sadly. But I even if I haven't seen anything, I highly doubt that he really thinks this way. And if he really thinks this way, then I do have some questions. Like, you are pretending, Dan, you are pretending that because you had this group of people that trusted you and trusted most of the things you said, almost as even last confirmation, like me, I would hear news and hear from this guy, this guy, this guy. But if Bongino said it, he has receipts. You know, this was your reputation as a news host, anchor, whatever. You are supposed to put people in the microscope and tell us what you see. And we trust 100% that there's no filters between those eyes, you know. But now you are the one under the microscope. You don't take these points, these trust points. You don't drag them with you. You're a suit now, bro. And as many times as you said on your Mondays weekend update thing, every time you had to go to a fundraiser and stuff, oh, I had to wear a suit. I hate wearing suits. In your t-shirt looking all cool and, you know, relatable and stuff. And now you're wearing a fucking suit, dude. You're dragging with you zero trust from your news anchor days. Zero. With me, I don't want to speak for anybody else, but and now, if you would have were dragging 10 points, 10%, everything went down to zero again. So with this, you just made it worse, because now I have to treat you in the same way that you treated them, which is, I have some questions. You have seen the evidence? Oh, you had read the file, have you? Show it to us. Which file are you talking about? Cameras were off. Security guards were sleeping or fucking Googling shopping online, apparently. Their roommate had the shits all of a sudden and then spent fucking 2 hours in the toilet or wherever he was. I have questions. Yeah, right? Like, you cannot just fucking pinky swear, oh yes, I saw it. And, you know, you remember how much you used to trust me? You have to trust me now again. No, fuck no. Are you serious right now? Come on, man. No, no, zero, zero. You are now, everybody's worried. Of course, I am extremely that you are now becoming part of the club. I don't know if you got extorted or, blackmailed, or somebody threatened your family's in danger. Like, I don't know. And if that is the case, well, of course, that would be worst case scenario, right? And regardless how heartbroken I am or how betrayed I feel or whatever, I would never be wishing anybody harm. I would never condone or support or call for the harm of anybody. And by the way, if this is the kind of person you are or you support, I'm not gonna tell you to go somewhere. This is not for you. Like, I don't ban anybody. Everybody's free to watch me, but you won't find any violence or any call for violence or support of violence here. It's just like a heads up, spoiler alert. And of course, if going back to that, if that is the case, that he has been privately threatened or his family has been threatened, then obviously, first of all, we pray that that is not the case, and second, that if that is the case, then of course we pray and we hope that everybody ends up being fine and nothing really happens. And if knowing that information, if you still support him lying for the protection of his family, I'm gonna leave that judgment to you. I would have to, I don't even have a, if you would ask me, I don't even have an answer. I would have to sit down and kind of think about it, put all the pieces on the table, and see the effects of every move. It's not an easy decision to make, that's for sure. So we're not gonna judge Dan for making whatever decision, or at least I'm not. I'm not even gonna talk about is it the right thing or the wrong thing anyway, but we just hope that nobody's in harm and that this is not the reason. So of course it could be one of the reasons, but let's hope that it is not. I do have the hope that you and Cash are undercover. Kind of, you need to pretend to be idiots so you can whistle yourself inside. And one of the biggest way that you can have to show that you're an idiot is by saying this shit. So if this is some kind of undercover operation that you're gonna come in 6 months with 100 people behind bars and say, we're sorry we said that shit, but we're fucking, yes, okay, 100%, I would forgive you. But otherwise, brother, he didn't kill Ayus. Epstein didn't kill himself. My God. And I'm sure that Virginia Giuffre got hit by a bus in the middle of the Australian outbacks. Are there even buses running out there in the middle of nowhere? How the fuck do you get hit by a bus? Like, they could have thrown a meteorite or told us that she got hit by a lightning bolt. And that would be more believable than getting hit by a bus in the middle of fucking nowhere. And then she killed herself. What? Yeah. Please, Dan, tell me that you saw the evidence on that one and that she killed herself too. Jesus fucking Christ, man. They really think we are fucking retarded idiots. Right?
The architect of the FBI's overzealous January 6th investigation.
I want the American public to realize what we did. That man was in a position where he literally fought back against the machine who was saying, we want to politicize this event. We want.
Oh, shit. And that's it. So they ended with this fucking shitty last cut. By the way, I didn't speak about
Again,
this.
you want me to? I've seen the whole thing.
Yeah.
He killed himself.
I know it's hard work.
This is how you would answer. He killed himself. I know it. I promise. Pinky swear. I know it's hard work. Nobody talks. There's a huge cut there. And I would hope because so far I have respect for this lady. But I would actually hope that this cut was because she got intense. Because she got, okay, you saw the files, where are they? Fucking show them to me right now. Show it to the public. Which files did you see that convinced you 100%? Oh, Pinky swear? Alright, yeah. Pinky promise.
But you promoted Stephen Jensen, the architect of the FBI's overzealous January 6th investigation.
I want the American public to realize what we did. That man was in a position where he literally fought back against the machine who was saying, we want to politicize this event. We want to politicize this event. And at the end of the day, remember, Maria, there's a chain of command here. So you can fight back your chain of command to a certain degree before they fire you. And Steve Jensen and other folks were promoted because they embody what the American public demands of FBI agents.
To get to the bottom of something like January 6th and the pipe bomber case, for example, you need three things. You need people, you need information, and you need people with information. I'll allow the public to put that together.
The pipe bomber, he
case,
said.
for example.
FBI agents.
To get to the bottom of something like January 6th and the pipe bomber case, for example.
Okay, he mentioned
you need
it.
three things. You need people, you need information, and you need people with information. I'll allow the public to put that together. And just wait, and you'll see. Nothing we're doing
How long?
is by accident.
Give me 3 months,
People who are,
6 months.
quote unquote, supposedly on the side of reporting truthfully should take a look at this instance, because they are setting up circular firing.
Okay, either that was a cut, or he's fucking begging not to be smeared in the MSM for this bullshit that they just pulled off. So that has to be a cut, and they were talking about something else. Because otherwise, what I see is that in the last 3 minutes of the interview, he is now gonna go on his knees and beg the whole world not to smear the level of bullshit and disappointment that we've all seen with our eyes. So basically, he's pulling a cheap fake strategy. Well, you know, it doesn't work. These threats don't work anymore, so now he has to beg, you know? Let's hear that again. This, such a disappointment. Just begging for mercy from the news outlets.
Reporting truthfully should take a look at this instance, because they are setting up circular firing squads. And Dan and I have already told the FBI, every employee that acted appropriately, we are going to defend you to the hill, literally, no matter the consequences. But for the media, who's gone through the disinformation cycle of Russiagate, of January 6th, for them to come in here and take the clickbait and write articles based on half-truths doesn't hurt us. This is what I'll tell you something I didn't think we were going to get into today. But
No, this is not necessary, because everybody knows who is who, right? Like, it's not like we are gonna watch Joe Rogan with the same skepticism that we watch The View or CNN or MSNBC, whatever. You know, I am not gonna watch, I don't know, Dave Smith, let's say, and just like, well, I actually do watch everybody with the same eyes, but my defenses are a little bit more down. You know, I don't have to be like I am now, fucking fishing for lies, because you have been so deceitful. But like, I would watch Bill Maher. When you watch Bill Maher, you're like, this motherfucker's gonna lie somehow tonight. Or at least, I don't think he lies. I think he just believes everything he says. He's just wrong. But yeah, whatever. So let's see if he actually gets to the begging part. Because so far he's like, defend us, media, and don't lie about us, because nobody will believe you. Well, no shit, man. Nobody believes you from the start. So
every morning we tell our leadership cadre when we sit down with them, nothing written in the media is going to affect him or me.
Look, you said illegal alien criminals and child predators are next in your ongoing crackdown.
Oh, yeah.
How are you going to do it?
The illegal immigration problem with 20 million people came in, yeah, okay, most of them probably were here to work in it, but a lot of them weren't. They were here to traffic in kids and fentanyl. If you were here illegally, the administration's approach, which the director and I have actioned through the agents in the field, is, listen, I'm speaking a bit hyperbolically, but correct me if I'm wrong, right? You're the lawyer. We're giving you about 5 minutes to cooperate. If you're here illegally, 5 minutes, you're out. Title 8, AEA, whatever we've got. We're not wasting an agent who's making, a decent salary, who we train. We're not wasting 3 weeks of his time to beg you for information, for a proffer. We're not. We're kicking you out. The president's going to seal the border.
In the first 2-3 months that we've been in the seat under Donald Trump's administration, he has sealed the border. He has stopped border crossings. So where's all the fentanyl coming from still? Where's the trafficking coming from still? Where are all the narco traffickers going?
Finally, man, those are fucking legit questions. That's right. Where are they coming from? And yeah, I think he's taking a little bit more credit for the border situation that he should, or they should. But yeah, 100%, man. Fucking fish them out of their disgusting holes and put them all in jail, or send them to like the most anti-gay prison in the planet, so they can enjoy the rest of their lives. 100%, obviously. So what's new? I mean, let's see if he tells us where they are coming from.
To keep bringing this stuff into the country, the northern border. Our adversaries have partnered up with the CCP and others, Russia, Iran, on a variety of different criminal enterprises, and they're sailing around to Vancouver and coming in by air. And the sheer tyranny of distance of the northern border and the lack of cooperation from federal authorities in prior administrations to actually firm up that northern border is what's causing a continuation.
Interesting. Finally, so they ended with the strongest point. Of course, it's all been bullshit until now. So of course they want us to go home with like not feeling that they haven't done shit so far, or that they don't know shit, or that they know and they're lying to us. So yeah, obviously that's why so much edit was being done. They was probably reorganizing the whole thing, and I hope that they didn't cut a lot, and I hope it was not for censorship purposes. But this is obviously great information. I had no idea about this. I'm just learning this right now. Thank you, Cash, for letting us know and for uncovering this new method of human trafficking and drugs trafficking that's going on throughout the northwest of Canada. And yeah, man, fucking go at it. 100%. Agree. Good job.
Of violent crime. Now, we're focused on it. And we're calling our state and local law enforcement partners up there. But you know who has to get to step in is Canada. Because they're making it up there and shipping it down here. And I don't care about getting in.
Good fucking luck, man. Good luck. They are probably the highest customers of these products over there in the government. Good luck, man. Are you serious? There's no way. No way they're gonna be involved
into this debate about making someone the 51st state or not. But they are our partner in the north. And say what you want about Mexico, but they helped us seal the southern border. The facts speak for themselves. The border that's open, I'll give you a statistic that I gave to Congress that nobody was paying attention to. Over 300 known or suspected terrorists crossed into this country last year illegally. Known or suspected terrorists, not illegals. Not just illegals, known or suspected terrorists. 85% of them came in through the northern border. Wow. This year, 100 known or suspected terrorists have crossed into this country illegally. 64 are south and north.
Gentlemen, we've hit on so much today, and I really appreciate your time.
I'm so happy that we were able to sit down with you so your viewers can see it. We're not doing a lot of media, and we're going to continue to not do a lot of media. But you have reported truthfully for years, even when it wasn't popular, when it wasn't fun, when it cost you money, and when it cost you personally. So that's why we welcomed you to the Hoover Building. We welcome, yes, we do have an indoor shooting range, which we'll get you to soon. But we really appreciate you having the audacity to continue to report the truth.
Yeah, man. Fucking look yourself in the mirror and say that. Nobody's criticizing Maria Bartiromo right here. She did a great job, and probably by the sassiness of the first part, I would even say that sometimes she actually overstepped, and that's why you had to cut so much, especially after the Epstein one. That one ended like, I know it's hard work. So I'm sure she got sassy there. I would hope so. It would actually make sense to me. And nobody's criticizing her, man. It's not like, oh yeah, we came to you because you are worth it. Dude, what the fuck, man? You deserve to go on CNN with this narrative, dude. You deserve to sit down with Whoopi Goldberg and all the other chickens and hens and cuckle your way through this interview or the next one. If you're not gonna, well, in 6 months, if nothing else came up and you're still telling us to wait for more information on this and this and this and this, then don't come to. You just go straight to The View, man. Just go straight to Good Morning Joe or whatever the fuck. Because nobody's buying that shit. And Bongino, man, you lost all of the trust support points that you had, at least with me. You're back to zero. And again, just with the hope in the back of my head that you would, that everything is fake and you're just pretending to be undercover or some kind of other Jason Bourne shit that I might just be, I'm too positive. I'm sorry about that. I see the glass half full all the time. So yeah, that's it for part 3 and this first group of watch-alongs that I just did. It was fun. Let's see how this channel keeps evolving. But of course, like, subscribe, and press that bell and everything so you know when I'm uploading new shit. And thanks again, gringos, gringas, beaners, and beanerettes for hanging out, and I will see you